Today we are doing lesson 9.4, relate fractions, decimals, and money. So to start out with, we've got pennies, quarters, dimes, nickels, and dollars over here. And I have put down what their fraction is, and I have put down what their decimal is. So for pennies, those are worth one, our whole is dollars. Pennies are 1/100th of a dollar. This is how you write it as a decimal. That's how you write it as a money amount. Quarters are worth 25 cents or 2/10 and 5/100, which also simplifies to 1/4. And you would write quarters as 25 cents or 25/100 of a dollar. Dimes can either be 10/100 of a dollar, or you can say how many dimes does it, if you've got one dime, it's worth 10 out of 100, but if you have, to make a whole, you need 10 dimes. And if you have one, it's 1/10 of a whole. So basically, these are equivalent fractions. We just take off the extra zeros, right, to get 1/10. And then nickels are worth 5 cents or 5/100 of a dollar. A dollar, the way that you write a dollar, just like one whole, when we're talking about decimals, you write one, it goes in the ones place. And then to write it as a money amount like this. So here we go. Oh, our essential question says, how can you relate fractions, decimals, and money? I also have an anchor chart over here with the different money amounts. It says together, Julie and Sarah have $1 in quarters. They want to share the quarters equally. How many quarters should each girl get? How much money is this? So to start out with, if we have 4 quarters and we want to split that between 2 girls, then I'm going to use the quarters I've got up here already. So here's 2 quarters and here's 2 more quarters. So they have 4 quarters, right? Mm-hmm. And if they want to split them by 2 girls, then that means each girl gets how many quarters? 2. And how much money is 4 quarters?
50 cents.
$1. How much money does each girl get, Brinley? 50 cents. Okay. So each girl should get 2 quarters or $0 and 50 cents. And a whole dollar is how many cents?
100.
100. So to write 50 cents as a fraction, it would be 50 out of 100 cents. 0 wholes, 5/10, 0 hundredths, or 50 hundredths. Okay, so we can use money to model decimals. Alright, let me put my quarters back over here. It says that $1 is looks like this. I've got my examples down here, and it is a whole, is what they're saying here. Okay. So what fraction would you use to represent a dollar? If you had $1, what fraction would you use, Ella?
100.
Say it louder.
100. 100 over 100.
100 over 100. Did you guys know that if the numerator and denominator are the same, that equals 1 whole, right?
Mm-hmm.
So 100, 100. To write it as a money amount would be like this. To write it as just a decimal would be like this. Those are the three things that we are doing today. We're going to be writing fractions or mixed numbers. We're going to be writing money amounts, which are the same thing as decimals, only the money amounts have what in front of them? A dollar sign. Dollar sign is just an S with a line through it. Okay, not two lines, just one line. All right, here we go. And on the next one, if we look at this model, they're saying that 10 dimes equals $1. So if we have, each dime is represented by this many. Now, if we were looking at that as 10th size pieces, then the fraction for a dime would be 10 hundredths, right?
Mm-hmm.
But we can also write that as 1 out of 10, right? Because it takes 10 dimes to equal a whole dollar. So if we use 10 for our whole amount and we had 1 dime, that would be 1/10. Okay? So 1/10, to write that as a decimal, it would be 0 whole dollars, 1/10. We could leave it like that, or to turn it into a money amount, we would just say 10 hundredths. Those are all equivalent. So 1 dime equals 1/10 or 10 hundredths of a dollar. Oh, so down here, a dollar is how many cents?
100.
100. To write a dime as a dollar amount, it would be 0 wholes and 10 hundredths. You could also write the value as 10 hundredths. That would work too. A penny we can use for 100. So if we have 1 penny, that means 1 out of 100, or the 1 is in the what place? 100. So as a dollar amount, it would be 0 whole dollars, 0 tenths, and 100. Okay, this says, if you have 68 pennies, what part of a dollar do you have? So we have, 68 pennies. What fraction of a dollar is 68 pennies? Well, cash, if we're talking about dollars, what's our denominator going to be? 100, because that's how many cents are in a dollar, right? So if we have 68 pennies that are each worth 1/100th of a dollar, we would have 68 hundredths. And then if you wanted to write that as a decimal, 0.68, or as a dollar amount, or 0.68 as a decimal. Okay. What they're showing you here is how the place value charts are the same. So if we're talking about ones, tenths, and hundredths, we can replace that with dollars, dimes, and pennies, and have it be the same thing. There are 100 pennies in a dollar, so $1.56 is 156 pennies. Okay, so 156 pennies, or $1.56 is 1 56 hundredths. So there are 100 hundredths in 1 in 1. So 1 56 hundredths is the same as 156 hundredths. That's a little confusing, but I promise what we're doing today is not too bad. Shade the decimal model to show the money amount, then write the money amount and fraction in terms of dollars. So, if you have a little bit of trouble with money and telling the coins apart and that kind of thing, what I'm going to suggest you do now is write the amounts that I'm writing on the coins. It is helpful. Okay, so first on A, we have, what's that first coin? A dime, which is worth
10 cents.
So I'm going to write a 10 on it. And you can write a 10 out here if you want and draw an arrow or something like that. Okay, what's the next coin? A nickel, which is worth 5 cents. What is this coin?
A dime.
No.
Penny.
Look at the picture of it.
It's a nickel.
It's a nickel.
I just found another one.
Okay?
Oh, I thought you were talking about that.
This is a nickel worth 5, and then of course a penny worth 1. So now let's count that money amount. We always start with the biggest. We go 10 plus 5 is 15, plus 5 is 20, plus 1 is 21. So now we're going to shade in 21, which is 2 tenths and 1/100. And then down below, they want us to write it as a money amount, I believe. Write the money amount. So that is
0.20. Wait, 0.21.
0.21. Okay. On the next one, on B, we have $1, and then what is the first coin?
A nickel. Quarter.
That is a quarter.
What?
Guys, it's bigger. It's way bigger.
Easy.
It's way bigger. Look at the picture. Look at the picture. Okay, 25. Okay, then we have a dime. You can see, so look, the nickel's just a little bit bigger than the penny, just barely. The dime is smaller than the penny. The quarter is bigger than all of them. So the dime is next, and it's worth 10 cents. And then the penny, of course, is worth 1. So first, we've got $1 over here. We can't forget about that. So how many do we shade for the dollar? One whole. So we're going to shade the whole thing for the dollar. Okay. And then let's count up the money we have here. We start with the biggest one, 25, 35, 45, 46. So then we need to shade 46 over here, which is 4 groups of 10. And then 600. Correct. So now to write that, they've already written it as a dollar amount. So now they want us to write it as a mixed number. So they put the 1 here. What goes above the 100?
46.
46. Good.
4600.
1 and 46 hundredths, or 1 and 46 out of 100 to make a whole. Okay, so I think this chart is super fun. So we have bills and coins, money amount, fraction or mixed number, and decimal. It says complete the table to show how money, fractions, mixed numbers, and decimals are related. Underneath the decimal, the word decimal, guys, I want you to write in terms of dollars. Because that's how they're going to word it on our instructions later. So, what is the difference between this money amount and this decimal in terms of dollars? What's the only difference, Shelby?
There's a money sign.
There's a dollar sign. Okay, not a money sign, a dollar sign. Okay, and so that is, turn around please. That is how it's going to be on all of these. So what is going to go in this box right here?
0.25.
Pull your mask up, please. 0.25. Now, let's look at what they did. So, in this first column is going to be dollars and bills and coins. So, how can you make the money amount 3 cents? Dakota?
300.
Colin?
3 pennies.
With 3 pennies. So write that in, Colin, and give yourself a point. So this is what I was looking for, Dakota. They're talking about quarters and dimes, okay? Now, as a fraction or mixed number, Dakota, how would you do that? How would you write this amount as a fraction or mixed number?
300.
300. Very good. Now you can give yourself a point. 300. Because what place is that 3 in?
The
The hundredths. Okay, then over here we have 25 cents, which of course can be either 25 hundredths or 1/4, as simplest form. This pretty much the simplest way to make 25 cents, Landon?
1/4.
1/4. Give yourself a point. Okay. Now we've got all this row filled, or this row filled up. Now, if we have 2 quarters and 1 dime, so quarters are worth 25, dimes are worth 10. Okay, so if we have 2 quarters, 25 plus 25 is 50, plus 1 dime.
55. No, 60 cents.
Thank you. Colin knows his money, I think.
So do I. I keep on getting them.
Okay, 0 whole dollars and 60 cents. And then in the last box, we just put 0.60. Okay. The last one, they have said that we have 2 $1 bills and 5 nickels. So, to go along with this one, these are our $1 bills. And then nickel, 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 5 nickels. How much are nickels worth? 5 cents. So I'm going to put 5 on all of these. So we've got $1, $2. So that's 2 holes. So we're going to put the dollar sign in 2 holes. Then we have 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. $2.25. And how would you write that as a fraction or mixed number? Ethan?
2 holes and 25 hundredths.
Or
you can, I did it as 2 and 1/4.
there you go, Ethan. Give yourself a point. 2 and 1/4 or 2 and 25 hundredths. They both work. And then as the money amount, or the decimal in terms of dollars will be just like the money amount, just without the dollar sign. Okay? So on the assignment today, guys, they're basically looking for 3 things. They're going to give you a money amount, cash, and then you're going to write these 3 things and make sure they're equivalent and they match up just like we did yesterday. So if they give you 5 pennies, and that is, they're saying, so 5 pennies we know are hundredths. So that is 5 hundredths of a dollar. So where would we put the 5?
In the hundredths.
In the hundredths place. And then we, of course, have to fill in the 10th place with a 0 placeholder. So 0.05. 5/100 of a dollar. Okay. Next we have, okay, you guys shout out the coin. We have
Dime, 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 penny, 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 quarter, quarter, quarter.
okay, good.
It sounds like you're saying we're quarter.
Okay, so we have 10, 10, 10, 1, 1, 1, 1, 25, 25, 25. Now, which one are we going to start counting first?
Dime. Wait, no,
The quarter. We always start with the biggest. Okay. 25, 50, 75, 85, 95, $1.05, $1.06, $1.07, $1.08, $1.09. So the directions say write the total money amount. So we're going to write the dollar sign, $1.09. Then write the amount as a fraction or mixed number. So 1 whole and 9 over what?
100.
100. And then as a decimal in terms of dollars. So same thing as what you started with, only without the dollar sign. Okay, number 3. What coin is this?
Quarter, dime, nickel, dime, nickel, nickel.
Okay. So now I want you to tell me the money amounts. What do I put on the quarter? 25. What do I put on the dime?
10.
What do I put on the nickel? 5. Okay, so we'll start with the quarter. 25 plus 10 is 35, plus 10 is 45, 50, 55, 60. So the money amount, we need a dollar sign, 0 whole dollars, and 60 cents. And what fraction would it be, Shelby?
60 hundredths.
60 hundredths. And then as a decimal in terms of dollars, 60 hundredths. So because it's a 6 in the 10th place, but because we have a 0 in the 100th place, we say the word hundredths. So 60 hundredths. Okay. Right as a money amount and a decimal in terms of dollars. So money amount and a decimal. No, so these two answers are gonna be exactly alike, with the only difference being one will have a dollar sign, one won't. 92 hundredths, how do you write that as a money amount? Dollar sign,
$0.92.
okay, 0.92. Then we write 0.92 again. Okay, how do you write 7 hundredths as a money amount? Gotta raise your hand. Shelby.
Dollar sign and then 0.07.
Yeah, that's right.
And then 0.07.
And then 0.07 again. Okay, Owen, how do you write 16 hundredths as a money amount?
Dollar sign $0.16.
There you go. 0.16. Okay, Sonia, how do you write 53 hundredths as a money amount?
Dollar sign 0 and
Point.
point 53.
Yep, and then 0.53. Okay, so you guys are going to do 8 through 13 on your own. You need to watch closely the directions. So they've given you 3 spots for answers here. So you're going to count up and give the money amount, then the fraction or mixed number, then the decimal in terms of dollars. on number 8 and 9. Then down below, so that's going to be 8 and 9 are going to be just like number 2 and 3. So 8 and 9 are like 2 and 3. 10 through 13 are like 4 through 7. You guys got it? All right.